Underground radio.
What does it mean to be underground? It means you gotta be free to be underground. Yo, you got your own key when you're underground. If you're listening to me, yo, you underground.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to season 11 of Connected with Cari here on the Underground Radio C platform, which you can find me on YouTube and on Facebook. We're also live through the Just FM page, the Just TV page, Just TV Facebook page. We are also live through Just FM radio. You can find us justfm.ca, find us there on the app, and then you can just scroll down and hit live and watch us live. We're also live through ROKU TV 101 app. No, it's not a secret. We've been doing that for a long, long time, at least as long as I've been with them, which has been 5.5 years. So those of you who tune in every single week, I appreciate you. I appreciate your support. Again, season 11 is now starting. So I just want to put out there a couple things real quick. First of all, I hope you've also been watching my Shift Happen show, which has been happening every other Wednesday with myself and Dina Court, who runs the Life Changes in Divorce magazine. So on the Shift Happen show, the shift happens and different shifty talks happen as well. We sometimes have guests, we sometimes have ourselves, and lots of different things happen. So it's quite interesting, quite fun. We talk a lot about different mindsets and different topics, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. So if you haven't seen any of those shows, I really suggest you do tune in. The next one will be October 8th at 4 p.m. Please join us. It'll be on cultural shifts, where we're going to talk about a little bit about Halloween. We're going to talk about Day of the Dead, Diwali, all these types of different cultures that are happening during October. So be sure to tune in with that. Also, I want to say, if you would like to be a guest here on Connected with Cari for season 11, spots are booking up fast, but please get at me at radioc.contact@gmail.com. And or you can DM me as well through any of my socials as well at Underground Radio C, Facebook page, Instagram, that's fine as well. I would like to have a couple more local artists come on. So if you're in the music scene, I would love to have you on the show. Speaking of music, one last detail before we start the show. I am giving away 2 tickets to the YYC Music Awards, which are happening tomorrow evening here in Calgary at the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. The show award ceremony starts at 6 p.m. So I have 2 tickets up for grabs. I've been posting on my socials. If you guys want to try and win 2 tickets for yourself and a friend, I myself will be there as well. So you can hang with yours truly and watch all the music scene going down. But I need you to go over to my page, find the post, and comment saying who has been nominated for a YYZ Music Award. I started off with pop recording, but you can go in and throw any artist that is ready to receive and being nominated in the comments, and I will choose a winner probably by the end of tonight, because tomorrow is the awards. So looking forward to that, looking for some support. Without further ado, as you know, I've been posting up for my shows. I have a wonderful guest with me who is into the whole boxing scene, if you will, into the health scene, into, keeping things fun and live and going. And it's just one of those guests where you never know what can happen. We can talk about a few different things, so we will see. But he is the owner of Rumble Boxing West Studio on 85th here in Calgary. I welcome Kurtis Strickland to the show. How are you?
Doing great, thank you.
Doing good. I'm going to zoom us in because we're also live on Instagram, and then this way it gets a nice little window for that.
For sure, yeah.
Right? So that happens. So are you going to go to the YYC Music Awards tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think I should do that. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Go.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. I like to see, because it's not just like one genre, it's many different genres of the artists in our city, which is pretty cool, right? So
yeah.
Do you have a favorite musician or favorite?
Well, it's got to be Tate McRae, our local gal. I just met her on stage last week in Denver with my 14-year-old daughter, and I must say I was quite impressed with the dancing, and it's great to have a Calgary girl out there represent. So it was a lot of fun. So I'll say that.
Go team, go
Yeah.
YYC, right? It's so awesome to have, our local artists get up there and then they perform and you can watch them get bigger, right? So they start on our local stages and our little venues here in Calgary, and then they branch off to like Edmonton. They're like,
Yeah,
yay.
Edmonton, and I think she moved down
And
to like
Toronto, right? Usually kind of,
California.
yeah. And then bigger and bigger. So it's pretty cool to see. So Kurtis was supposed to be on last week, but he ran away to Denver. So
Yeah, that's right. My scheduling challenges as an adult.
so we pushed it to this week, which was actually a really good thing because I was able to do a replay of a video that I had done last year. I went to the Northeast Addiction and Mental Health Holistic Center here in Calgary. So that kind of goes along with our theme for tonight. And I interviewed Dr. Singill. He is the owner of that and founder, and he was a doctor for the Peter Lougheed Hospital. And he decided to open up his own clinic and help with some rehab and addictions and mental health and all that. So yeah, it was pretty cool. So I got a chance to play that. So thank you for not being there. I appreciate it very much.
I love it.
So, but it's good, right? Everyone needs a little promo and needs to get out there and have their message heard. So without further ado, I know I said your name is Kurtis, but please formally introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, and then we'll just go right from there.
Perfect. Well, I'm Kurtis Strickland.
And I'm going to put you solo screen. So
Okay.
I'll be right back.
So I'm Kurtis Strickland. Currently, I am owning and operating the Rumble Boxing West 85th location. I've been an engineer for the past, 25 years, working in the energy industry for about 23 years. And I got to a point in my career where I wanted to really challenge and do something different, really embrace a different part of my skill set and my mental health. And I got into boxing. Boxing is a sport. I wasn't originally a boxer by any means, but I really got into the fitness of it, the community, and just in general, when you're surrounded by people who really enjoy what they're doing, it really creates that really healthy community. And it's pretty amazing to be part of Rumble Boxing and to develop a community in the West and watch people thrive. I've got two lovely, beautiful children, and I have a beautiful wife, and been living in Calgary now since 1998. So this is definitely my home, originally from the West Coast in BC. And I'm right now at the wonderful age into my late 40s, and dipping into this concept of the midlife crisis, but I am learning that it's actually a midlife transformation, and I feel I'm in the middle of it. And so I'm really here to talk a little bit more about, in the middle of the midlife transformation versus you hear a lot of stories of people when they're out of these different big changes in their lives, and you hear about their big win. And I'm currently in the middle of a lot of learnings. Let's put it that way. So I'm happy to be here.
Nice. That's awesome. I want to go back and congratulations for becoming an owner of Rumble Boxing, which is, there's a few studios here in Calgary. Yeah, let's do that. Let's kind of go over what Rumble Boxing is for those who haven't heard of that first. And then I wanted to kind of go into the midlife stuff as well and decipher between the two. What's a midlife crisis and a midlife transformation? So first, go into Rumble Boxing, what it is, the locations and all that, and then the other. Okay.
Yep, absolutely. So Rumble Boxing started in 2016. The first location is in the 17th Avenue, and it's a concept where they call it, Fight Club meets nightclub. you've got your heavy bags in a room, the lights are off, and you got a lot of the fun party lights with the good music, and you're hitting to the beat of the music. It's a great way to sort of be in your own space, yet be with the community. And it's amazing how you feel mentally and just physically after one of those sessions and classes where you get the hit to the beat, you're just punching, no one's watching, everyone is just doing their own thing, and the amount of energy and excitement you get after that, it's just an amazing feel-good workout. 50 minutes goes by and you're just 600 to 700 calories burned, and you're just feeling amazing. That concept is such a fun way to watch people grow and become more confident. And I had the opportunity to open up one of the second franchises in the city. So there's 4 locations, 2 in Calgary that are corporate, 1 in Mahogany, 1 in location I have, which is West 85th. And we've been open now for almost coming up 2 years. So the first 2 years of a startup, even with a franchise, it's a new business, it's new people, new culture, and a lot of learnings and excitement and fun, I must say, and tears when it comes to starting up a new business, especially for someone who's got 23 years plus of corporate experience. Being an entrepreneur really, really does test who you are and makes you humble. And it is, depending on your mindset, it can really beat you up and take you down, or you can grow from it. And I'm just, like I said, I'm in the middle of this transformation. And the obstacle is the way. My new best friend, which is this Ryan Holiday guy from the Daily Stoic, is the obstacle is the way. I'm in the middle of this obstacle, and I'm just now in this amazing headspace to say this is the way. So let's just have a go with it. So
right. What was it like? I do still want to hit up the midlife crisis and the transformation bit, but before that, because you said you were in the corporate world, and then you decided to okay, so why was that the big change? Because some people are like, I don't want to jump and go into something unstable or do whatever. So what was the why on doing that?
Yeah, I'll do my best not to tear up during this whole session, but
I promise no one will say anything.
it's
you guys be good.
Yeah, I mean, you want to see Kurtis's authentic self here. Let's sit down and buckle up.
Right.
I must say, I
good.
got to the point where I was truly in this autopilot. I was in
Okay.
autopilot, and I think there's many of us who have or are still in that. And that may be fine. It's your high altitude, you're cruising, you're doing the thing. But my heart, my instincts, my authenticity, who I was, disappeared. I no longer really felt like me in that world. And I brought that home. So the autopilot, dead space man comes home.
Yeah.
And he's just not there anymore. And when you hear your children, and particularly your wife, talk to you and say, where did my husband go?
Yeah.
It hits you. And you really have to change your environment in order to do that. And so how do you do it? Sometimes you just got to jump into the unknown. And I needed it to say, let's stop, let's do something else. And where I was, and mentally, physically, Rumble came as an opportunity that I probably would never have taken 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Because of all of my patterns. But I just said, let's
You
just
could say it. You could say fuck it.
Yeah, I don't know. We didn't have a check on our language
Go
here,
ahead.
but it's like, fuck it. Let's just give it a go.
Yeah.
And I've got lots of skill sets, lots of transferable skill sets, and let's give it a go and see where we can take this. Because obviously being a business owner and jumping a ton of money into a business like that, ton of money that you worked your ass off in corporate, it could go a lot of different directions.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's it. My shift happened show that I was talking about at the beginning of the show here, Last week on Wednesday, Dean and I did a show and we were talking about mental health, of course, for this month of September. And it was just exactly what you said. I was saying a lot of times, I wouldn't say it's always males, but I think, husbands and fathers have it quite hard because not only do you have that pressure of being a spouse and a father providing for the family, but then you also have to deal with going into work, especially if you have a corporate job. So you have to drive. Most people work downtown. So you have to drive through horrible rush hour traffic to and from work every single day. That's the whole grind. And then you have to deal with those within the corporation. So whether it's your boss or whether it's coworkers, whoever it may be that you just can't stand. You're gonna kill someone at the end of the day,
Yeah.
but you're still smiling like it's gonna be okay. And the pressure of having deadlines, due dates, and did you get this in? And did you get that out? And did you run in this? And did you run in that? And then that's just like the touch of it. Like that's just one day. And then you're coming home and then it's like, I was telling Dina, the example was like, oh, your kids are yelling at each other and they're all fighting. And then the wife is like, oh, you're home late and you didn't take out the garbage and you didn't load the dishwasher. You didn't do this and you didn't do that. And then it's like, you know, do you realize like I just
Yeah.
drove to and from work in rush hour, having to deal with crazy drivers. Maybe it's the winter time, which adds more stress. And then dealing with everyone at work and all this kind of stuff. So I was saying, like, that's just one day out of however many years people have been doing this back and forth and back and forth. And it's no wonder people's mental health is just off the chart sometimes. So when you can take that and change it, some people want to do that, go ahead and do that. But, we're saying maybe there's some tips where, when you're driving into work, listen to some good music or a podcast or a radio show, putting that up, or maybe there's Rumble podcasts, who knows? But,
Yeah.
there's some things you can listen to on the way to and from work or just be happier and spread, just a good vibe when you're driving to at least lighten up the load a little bit and then change your mindset while you're at work. So, but that's not always possible. And then when you said, you get to a point where it's like, I can't do this anymore, like just way too much pressure, way too much. And sometimes a corporate job isn't for everyone. Like I couldn't do it. Like, hell no.
I can't do it anymore.
I mean, I
I'll
have
tell
a
you that.
little bit of skill set, but at the same time, I'm like, I could not be in an office all day. Like
Yeah.
there's no way at all that I can be. I love different scenery. I love a change of pace. I love like just different things going on all the single time. No, I am not ADHD, but I'm a manifest generator. That's the type of person that I am, who's consistently creative and doing different things. So this is like my sole purpose, is doing this stuff and getting people's messages out there. So being cooped up in an office wouldn't be doing much good for me. So
Yeah, I love that manifest generator. It's being creative is something I've really found in what I'm doing now. Is how
yeah,
much I'm able to learn, like the capacity to learn new things,
right.
and
All the time.
how much my creativity is just shining. It's so much fun.
Right.
Yeah.
So much fun. For those of you who don't know what a manifest generator is, Google it up. And I suggest get your chart done, your soul chart done, whatever it's called. Anyway, they take your birth date and your year and your date of, what is it? Your birth date, time that you were born and where you're born, and then it gives out your chart to kind of figure out what type of purpose you have and what you do and how to make your life better, which is pretty cool. So, but yeah, I can see where going back to the mental health of it, for people like us, like I cannot be cooped in and whatever. So you just mentally get drained or whatever. You don't necessarily go crazy, but you just feel like you're kind of useless and you feel like this isn't for me. And you just feel like, you got to go somewhere. You got to get out.
Yeah, and it's like it's incredible. I mean, a lot of people, you know, my last place I worked at, and I was talking to a lot of people there. This is one of these large organizations, and I'd always try my best to shy away from a large organization versus the smaller ones where you get a bit more connection with people and you know the business better.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But it was amazing how many people were always talking about how many years you got left, like they were in some sort of confined prison. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, I just got here. And they're like, oh, you're new. Yes, I got 5 years. I got 5 years, they would say. I'm like, 5 years for what? Well, then I get my full retirement. I'm like, oh, so you're on countdown. What are you doing for the next 5 years? I'm staying low because they fire people all the time here. You don't get middle management. Just stay low. Just do what you need to do. Don't ask questions. Show up. Punch in, punch out, you're good.
Yeah.
And it was just like, wow, do I want that for my future? And then you're in a situation where you're looking at who your bosses are, and especially large corporations where they, you know, they have bosses that just keep on coming and going, and you have an endless amount of people telling you what you're doing great, and then the next boss tells you that's the wrong thing to do. So you really have no idea what's going on anymore.
Yeah.
And you're like,
well, it's true.
I want that to be my future. You're like,
yeah.
Oh my God. So you're in this space and you're like, you got people who are, you know, clocking in, clocking out, waiting for their time, you know, the prison sentence to be done. And then you got these other people who you're looking up to and you're like, I don't actually no longer want what you have. And you're like, then what am I here for? What am I working for? Why am I sacrificing my time and my travel and my way from my family and my sanity when I'm not even looking up to the people I'm working with?
Right.
You know? So
absolutely.
It was tough. I mean, steady income, I would love for that to happen right now. But still not at the sacrifice of which I was at.
Steady craziness or steady income? Like,
you choose your poison. The pill, right?
Exactly.
The red and the blue pill.
The red and the matrix, right? Totally. It is. And that's kind of why, like, you know, let's go into the transformation and or midlife crisis. What was it? Because we just touched upon it. So, because a lot of people go, hey, when you are, and it's male or female, it doesn't matter what gender, but they say mostly males, after the age of 40, it's like, or 45 to 50, hence midlife crisis. So it's like, they want the new car and they want a different career. They want to look good. They wanted this or that. But tell us, you said a transformation. So
it's, I've obviously been wondering about this midlife crisis, and I can see it. Because you're in your career, you're making the money, and it's like, well, maybe if I just had some new toy, I'd feel better about the shit I'm doing, you know, because I got the money for it.
Reward yourself.
You're like, especially in the energy industry in Alberta, we live in a different dimension compared to the rest of Canada.
Okay.
I love Alberta, but still, I mean, people have to understand that we do well here. The crisis is like still disassociating who you are, your emotions, you are as a man, and what that means to you, and you're just taking that and you're replacing it with an object, something, and you're not really looking at what this means to you as a person, right? If you're able to sort of like be in a situation where you start to sort of like realize, holy shit, I have to change. So some may have it like health-wise, they've been treating themselves like shit. They're almost 50. Their doctor says all these things are going to happen to you if you don't change it up, right?
Yeah, that's when you're like, you have 5 years.
So you got 5 years, and you're potentially going to be dead.
Countdown of. We'll go back to that countdown.
Yeah, people change for those different things, but I'm like, man, if you get to the point where you're like, I'm in this midlife crisis, or you recognize that you're feeling like shit, you're not who you used to be, you don't even know who you are anymore. You've lived a life of an accidental career, which most of us do in the corporate world. You're like, oh, by the way, you applied for one job, right? And then if you're successful, you continue to get promoted, and you get promoted because they think that you're doing exactly what they want you to do, and you're showing and you're demonstrating your value. But you're like, oh, by the way, I want you to do this. And I'm like, I never actually want to do these things. But
That's not
damn,
on
you're
the
going to pay me that
resume.
kind of money, right? I'm
Yeah.
going to do it. Let's do this. Let's figure out, how to do this, and all of a sudden be in like from projects to, to doing securities or doing traveling all the
Yeah.
time and helping people out and doing auditing. Like all these different experiences happen, which are great,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
never really make the conscious effort that that's what I want to apply for as a job. So you live this accidental career, and all of a sudden you're in your mid 40s, late 40s. You're like, wait a minute, who's choosing this life?
Oh, yeah.
Is it me? Is it Kurtis? Or is it, my next boss that's coming through that circuit, that revolving door?
Right. Boundaries.
Boundaries.
100% boundaries, right? That's why, you can choose, do you want to be that person that's the yes man?
Yeah.
Always saying yes, always saying yes, always saying yes. Because a lot of people don't realize with becoming a yes person, male or female, whatever, at some point, you are going to get so drained. You are just going to like lose yourself. And that'll be it. And pretty soon you'll be a hospital person. You won't even be able to be
Yeah.
a yes person anymore. You'll be like, I can't go anywhere because I've been yes, 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 I can do that. Yes, I can do that. Until like you're like, I don't even know what I'm doing. And you're going in circles. Right. And to a point where I know people that will receive text messages and or phone calls from their bosses late at night. And it's like, where does it stop? Where does the office, like, when do you leave work?
Yeah.
Right? When is that no longer like, I'm done for the day? Right? Because some people will not. They'll be the yes person. They will answer phone calls or text messages 11 o'clock at night still. And they can't sleep because now, oh, I have to make sure I'm at work an extra hour early because I need to go and pick up coffee for everyone, or I need to do this, or I need to do that, and make 100,000 photocopies in the morning for a presentation and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's not your job. That's the secretary's job. Someone else is supposed to get paid for that. But you're the yes person and you're like, I don't mind, I'll do it. But then you can't sleep. And then what, it's like.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it got to the point where Sunday became my most anxious day.
Right. Horrible.
Right.
Absolutely
Yeah.
horrible.
Sundays were destroyed because I'd be so concerned about what Monday had to bring to me. Yeah. So the transformation piece.
Yeah.
I would say, what does my wife always say? It looks like, I'm going to mess this up, but a breakdown.
Just do it once, and then if you messed it up, reverb.
Yeah, a breakdown, or a breakthrough often looks like a breakdown, right? Like you have to sometimes, like, especially when you're in autopilot and you are so used to a certain way of thinking, and you don't realize where that thought comes from, and all of a sudden you jump into this world of entrepreneurship and you can do all the right things.
Yeah.
But if the people don't show and the numbers don't produce, guess what? You can never say, I've done everything I can. Ever.
Right?
There's
Totally.
always something else you have to try, and you have to let go of control, and you have to actually stop thinking about the money. And that is such a hard thing because the reasons why I said yes.
Yeah.
All those times for all those years in corporate was for the money and to be considered of value and to demonstrate my skill set. But here I am trying to demonstrate my value and my skill set.
Yeah.
And yet the people don't always come.
Nope.
Right? The bills don't always get paid. It doesn't matter. It's humbling as fuck to be an entrepreneur.
It is.
And it brings a person down to the point of their rawness of like, what the fuck have I done? Why am I here? Who am I? And you're listening to everybody to help you get through it. And you know what you've forgotten about?
Your why.
Is your instincts, the who you are. What do you think you should do? How do you want to be each and every day?
Yeah.
How do you want to present yourself? This is you. And you also have to discover who you were again because you lost yourself. Because in corporate, it's easy in comparison to this.
Yeah.
You show up. What do I need to do? Boom. How does it have to look? Boom. When do you need it by? Boom. All right. Get paid. Now I'll see you tomorrow. Right? Entrepreneurship's like, what do I have to do? Figure it out. Okay.
When do I get paid? Figure it out.
When do I get paid? Hopefully it worked out for you. It's like, holy shit.
And then it's worse if you have staff because then you got to pay them.
Yeah. I mean, the staff, I love the staff. I mean, and they are who they are, and they're great, and they're providing the amazing experience for the clients, and that's what we really focus on is client experience.
Yeah.
Because something I've really learned in especially this past year, is if you just focus on the outcomes, it will tear you apart, right? But if you focus on what you can control and you focus on how you are, how you're present, and that energy and that excitement and that fun and those conversations that you have with people at the studio, you end your day and you're like, man, I had a great day. Can you pay your bills? Fuck no, but I had a great day. It just changes that sense of who you are, and then you gotta believe that the good energy that you're bringing to the studio, the good energy that you're bringing to the people, and the good energy that you bring back home will eventually find its way to help you pay the bills. And if it doesn't,
I feel that 100%.
Yeah. Right.
But you know, it is so true because now getting back to like the 9 to 5 grind and you're coming home and everyone's like so grumpy because you're grumpy and you're upset. You've totally changed it where now it's like you love your job. Yeah, it's a little stressful for money, this or that, but somehow it always pulls through. Like somehow the universe is like, oh, well, I'll give you a little bit of money. Here you go. For being a good person, here you go. And you're like, oh, great, thanks. So, but it's true. Like now it's like your wife is probably much happier and the kids are probably happier and they've got like dad, you know, you're at you who you are and you can just like be happier. I mean, yeah, you're going to have shitty days. It happens, but probably 90% of the time you're going to be so much happier than just like the grind that you were doing and who you used to be. So, you know, and that is the whole mental health shift on its own is to be able to go, look, these are the whys. This is why this was happening. And to know, because some people can't put a pin on why they're just feeling like so depressed or why they're spiraling every single day, what's going on. And then they realize like they were brought up to go, yeah, you know, I go to school, go to college, and then I get my 9 to 5 job and, you know, this is great, whatever. And it should be working, but why is it not working? Why is this, you know, and I'm supposed to have the perfect marriage and everything should be running smooth. Like, why is this not working? Right. So then it's like, they go crazy because it's like they're trying harder and harder, but they don't realize the harder and harder is actually pushing them further away from where they're supposed to be. Right.
And that's for me is like, I appreciate that we all kind of have to follow and all have followed, many of us, this social construct of how one starts a career, go to school, do this.
I mean, it is important to learn. Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Great. It's this, and that could be a big chapter of your life, and then you can transform into the next chapter. And that's for me is like, you know, forget, you know, the midlife crisis. No, this is a midlife transformation. This is an opportunity for me, like, to be proud and compassionate for myself of what I've been able to accomplish from, you know, where my beginnings were to where I am today. And then to recognize that I have to focus on me. And I have a very, very strong family to support me through this transformation. And I have gone deep and dark and went to support with, you know, therapy or Hoffman Institute, a fantastic opportunity I never would have done without me going into the rumble, into this experience, into the dark of holy shit, what have I done? Who am I? But what that has done is created such a better understanding of who I am, my authentic self, what I want, how I want to spend each day. And what I really want to manage is what I can control, and then let the rest just flow.
Right.
Right?
It's that flow.
I used to think
Totally.
myself as the strong lone wolf. I always use the analogy as the single tree. I had a tattoo on my arm, for God's sakes, that here I am as a single powerful tree. I will grow, I will reach the stars, but stay grounded. It meant a lot to me. But then after I spent so much time learning about who I was and learning about
Yeah.
how important community is, I realized, I have to get a forest on my arm. So get the
But
forest
you know
on the arm.
what? Going back to a single tree, you looked at the analogy of solo being one, reaching for the stars. But trees in itself have the roots, and the roots are interconnected with all the other trees around it.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a community. Whether there's a tree and it could be 200 feet away and the other ones are, whatever. I mean, they could be so far apart, but they're still connected. So when you really look at it, everyone that's connected with you, those roots that are connected with you, are helping you to become a stronger tree, to help you to reach the stars.
Mm-hmm.
So you can look at it that way instead of, oh, well, I'm just a single tree.
Very,
Look at me.
very, very true. It's like where I'm at
It's
now from
completely
that
opposite.
perspective is
Yeah.
like what I've learned is like connections with people need to be multifaceted.
Yeah.
So if we want to continue the analogy of the tree, being amongst the forest, you're touching your leaves with amongst other trees. You're touching the wind is touching. Everyone's together. You got
Yeah.
the roots, and you're touching for sure. Humans are meant to be a community. They're meant to be together. Women do it much better than men do it. So
We
it's
have
like,
coffee to thank for that.
yeah, and it's that's where I'm at now. I'm in this I'm not done this transformation. I'm still trying to figure out Kurtis, and I'm still trying to
Yeah.
figure out how I am as a man in his approaching 50s, and who he wants to be and where he's going to go.
Yeah.
And connecting, I want to connect with other men out there, in a sense of understanding how we can support each other better, right?
Yeah.
How can I have actual conversations which are allowing us to be vulnerable,
Yeah.
allowing us to do this transformation together, allowing us to say, hey, how's your relationship with your wife going? I don't know a single answer to that question with any of my close friends.
Yeah. Did you
Men
think,
don't share this shit.
yeah, well, because, as many people here know, Kurtis runs boxing classes at his studio. And as we know, mental health and fitness go together. I was going to touch upon that, but we don't have enough time. But everyone kind of knows the link between the two. However, I was going to say, why don't you have a special men's connecting class and do that, where you kind of mix the two, little class, and then you have a little powwow with it or something,
It's something we have started, and I must say sometimes it's been lower attendance than I'd like it to be, because I think you can easily invite people there, but men have to be open to that and be aware of that. And so at our fitness studio, we've got something called Box and Brew, and it can be boxing with men who then afterwards have a soda pop. We've had an event on the 23rd, which was one with Game Day. So they're focused on men's health, and we brought several men from our own studio and some of the Game Day clients to learn a little bit about how we can also help with other ways of helping people with their health, vitamins and different types of support out there with medical support. So it's something that I'm continuing to work on and try, and that's the beauty of creating communities and building the energy. And all in all, it's funny because I see the changing results of people every day at the studio when they come over and over and over again, especially with boxing. They come and they feel better. They're losing weight. They feel more confident. They're releasing their rage, right? Yeah. And then the women
it's like
love
a rage room, right? But it's
rage room. Yeah, release the rage. We've had fun things like that, and I see it. I see teenage girls who don't even talk to us, and they're looking on the floor, looking on their devices, and they come out after a couple of classes and are talking with us. They're part of the community. They're confident. Their parents are so proud of how they've been able to see their children thrive. just by participating in a community boxing class.
Right? So simple.
It's so simple. It's right
Yeah.
there. And it's just imagine trying to get as many people as possible to see that and give it a chance.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden find out who the fuck are we really? And let's just
Yeah.
get back into being real. Let's be more raw. Let's be who we are meant to be. A
Right?
community of people who are working together just to feel better. Like it's
Right.
it's
Nothing
awesome.
like kicking people's, bags asses off.
Yeah,
It's
awesome.
true. Like everyone has like that pent up sort of anger after a long day, or they just like have that stress, whatever's going on in their life. It may not be like the 9 to 5, whatever job, but other stresses happen in life, right? Like things may be going really shitty for them, whatever it may be. And just to go and blow off steam is, it's a great thing to be able to do, especially for men.
Yeah.
So, but teenage girls for sure, like they, I know another fellow who owned a boxing studio in High River, and he said the same thing. He was running boxing classes and everything. And he said there were always like this young group of girls that would come in, and then they would, kick some ass during class, whatever. And then, and just other groups, other ages, whatever. But over time, he's like, everyone just became this small little community within the club. And it was just a beautiful thing to see. And they all kind of shared that one thing together. And I think that's kind of what the key is that, you all sort of belong to like your own little special kick-ass club and whatever,
Yeah.
right? So it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun.
You can be your authentic self, and
Exactly. Yeah.
it's incredible. It's
Right.
really amazing to see.
Yeah. Real quick, when is your next event? And people could probably look it up online, but is there something special coming up? And then tell us, your location and all the kind of stuff, because we're going to close up now.
Yeah, so our location is, Bow Trail and West 85th Street. So up by Aspen, West Springs community, up on the hill there on the west side of the city. We have a website that talks about all of our different events that are going on. Lots of happening in October. We're doing this obviously a Halloween theme for the month to get people to come on a consistent basis, and we have a lot of different collaborations going on. So keep a we can probably share the link for our website that shows all the different events and announcements that we have coming up for our different classes. Lots of fun going on.
Absolutely. If you want to post that underneath this, because these are now like they're publishing on like Facebook and YouTube and stuff. So you can go and just comment there, or you can even go and comment on the Instagram post that I made as well, just to kind of throw up a link, or I can just post it one place and then I can kind of copy and share as well. So that would be pretty cool. With that, thank you so very much for your time and coming on and being vulnerable and sharing your story. I know some people, it's really hard to share something vulnerable with the public, but I think in a way it's courageous because it kind of gets you out of your own box, and it tells other people, like, don't be afraid of your fears and what you're supposed to be doing. And, if you're afraid to make that jump from maybe the corporate world to being an entrepreneur, like, you don't have to just jump. Like, it can be a steady kind of thing. It doesn't have to be I'm not going to work ever again there. It's this right away. You can do it over time. So there's ways. So if you guys do need some information about that and you're not sure, whatever, you can always reach out to me. I know a lot of people that are in like that industry of helping people through transitions like that. So if you want to go kick some ass with Kurtis, feel free to do that as well, because I'm sure he'll kick your ass. No, he doesn't do it.
I only hit the bag. Don't worry.
You get to hit the bags, right?
Yeah.
I like the night thing. That would be pretty cool. So maybe there's like a retro night or something, or whatever, glow night. That would be fun. So
yeah, we got a lot of fun nights going on.
Oh, fun nights. That would be awesome. So thank you, Kurtis, again for sharing. He will put up some links there for you guys to go check out. With that, I hope you guys have a great weekend. It's getting into October soon. So, get in your last outside stuff. Go for a walk. Go do some. Do you guys do boxing in the park?
We do.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Get some boxing in the park done and all the good outside stuff. So with that, thank you, Kurtis. Have a great weekend. We'll chat soon.
Thank you very much. Take care.
You're welcome. There we go. Another Connected with Cari in the Book. Season 11 has now officially began. And again, real quick, if you want to get those tickets to the YYC Music Awards for you and a friend, go back to my post on that, comment something about whatever artist may be up for a nomination. I'm going to close that contest tonight at midnight. And then tomorrow you will be notified with your tickets, either by myself or from YYC Music Awards, from one of them. So with that, I wish you guys an awesome rest of your Saturday. I know it's almost over. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy tomorrow. It's supposed to be really nice too. So get out there, enjoy the sun. With that, have a great, great, great rest of the weekend, and make sure you guys stay connected. I will see you next weekend, and I'll see you Wednesday, October 8th for Shift Happens. Bye.